My first time on stage was on my 12th birthday. I was at a piano recital. Now, to be seen as an accomplished musician, to really perform well at a recital, it's essential that you play without the sheet music to guide you. So I had no sheet music. Here I was, waiting in the wings, my shiny shoes on, my knee socks pulled up high, my frilly dress on. Can you imagine? My name was called. I crept to the middle of the stage, sat down at the piano and forgot the music. I could not remember anything. My mind went totally blank. After standing up on stage for what still feels like an eternity, someone from the audience finally rescued me with the music. Somehow I managed to make it through to the end of my piece. And bowing at the end, feeling utterly humiliated, I remember thinking, I'm such a fraud. What am I doing up here on stage? Who do I think I am? So now's probably the time to let you in on a little secret. I'm a closet piano hater. My mother really, really wanted me to be a piano player. I wish I could tell you that because of this, I spent hours and hours practicing, but I did not. I found no joy in the piano. I was the kind of kid who excelled at a lot of things, and I really wanted to be good at what I did. So you can imagine, between my mother's expectations and my own, the pressure was intense. Sooner or later, someone was going to find out my piano-hating secret. This is the first time in my life I remember feeling like an imposter, like I was doing something or being someone to please someone else, to meet someone's expectations, someone that was not me. So, me. If I am not a piano player, let me tell you another story about how I discovered who I was. I am a really persistent and habitual person, so I kept up this meeting expectation behaviour for quite a long time, up until I was 31. When I was 31 years old, I had a great job, worked hard, played hard, exercised hard. Was very busy living up to expectations. So busy that I was really paying no attention to myself. I was pretty sick. I had caught a virus that attacked my immune system. The diagnosis, type 1 diabetes. Overnight, everything changed. As you can imagine, there's a lot to deal with, there's a lot to figure out. I thought that my biggest challenge would be how to deal with this actual disease, but it wasn't. In the midst of all of this change out of my control, being labelled yet again with a new label with its own expectations and interpretations, my biggest challenge was, how do I not let this define me? This traumatic event in my life was not something that changed me. It was not a catalyst for change. This event in my life was a catalyst for self-preservation. I needed and desperately wanted to stay me. So, who am I? If I'm not a diabetic, and you all know now I'm not a musician, who am I? I'm ordinary. I grew up on a farm outside a tiny town in country Australia. For the last 2 decades, my home has been cities of millions. I'm obsessed with the weather, probably because of my country upbringing. I can tell you the humidity, the temperature, the wind speed, the real feel in at least 4 different cities right now. I've had at least 6 different hair colours. I like people. I like behaviour, conversations. I don't like being with them all the time. I'm an introvert. I need to recharge and think on my own. I'm highly emotional. I'm also extremely pragmatic. I've worked in my pyjamas in my home office. I've worked in a suit in a corporate office. I have 19 pairs of glasses. In fact, I've got 4 pairs just backstage. I know that I'm neither of my parents' favourite child. Luckily, I'm not from a single-child family. There's 5 of us. All of these things make up me. What you see, what you feel, what you experience. I had danced around the edges of who I was for too long. Now I embrace all of this and more in my quest to draw out the ordinary and find the fabulous. And the only way to do this is to be yourself. So my role, my job, is to take marketing and branding and play in that squishy space in the middle. I find an authentic brand, the essence of an individual or a company, and then help them determine how to market that brand, what to say, and most importantly, what to do. I'd like to tell you about a fabulously ordinary person called Annie. Annie's a client of mine. The thing that's memorable about Annie is her experience did and still does mirror my own. When I first met Annie, I noticed something very peculiar. I got to know Annie in the first instance casually, through friends. She wore very quirky glasses. She had a distinctive dress sense. Annie laughed loudly and infectiously. She had really diverse hobbies. She liked wearing an apron and baking pies. She also liked wearing leather and riding a motorcycle. Annie was a great conversationalist, very direct, very provocative. Mostly what I liked about Annie was I felt I could be my ordinary self with her. Then I got to know Annie professionally. What a contrast. Annie was super conservative. She wore black or navy button-up suits. She was not controversial. She used a lot of corporate speak. She tried hard, really hard, not to provoke people. She never talked about her hobbies. She didn't tell anyone what she liked. Now, corporate speak and conservative clothing is perfectly okay. I just couldn't understand why I was experiencing 2 totally different Annies and why Annie was determined to have 2 totally different versions of herself. Annie was hiding behind what she thought she was supposed to do, hiding behind what you're supposed to say and do to win the big clients and win the accounts that she thought she so badly wanted. And she was miserable. Annie was exhausting herself trying to be someone and something that she's not, and the cracks were really showing. Annie did not enjoy her work. She didn't feel like she was doing her best work. When she did win clients, she didn't find it satisfying. It turns out Annie was petrified. She was petrified of being found out, that people would discover that her ordinary was someone else's weirdo, someone else's really weird. And because of this, no one would want to work with her. Now, it didn't take Annie quite as long as it took me, but she has embraced herself, her ordinary self. She's liberated herself from her own shackles, this other version of herself. And now Annie has all the work that she wants. And you know why people want to work with Annie, right? Because she's provocative, because she's direct, because she sees individuals and she can work with all kinds of personalities. By trying so hard, trying to get the work, trying to fit in, trying to be remarkable, Annie had stopped being her ordinary self. So now Annie is no longer hiding herself. So what if you already know what is fabulously ordinary about you, but you truly believe, like my client Gail, that it's no one else's business? I was working with Gail to write her professional biography. She's using this to introduce herself to new clients. Gail is a high-level business operations coach. To do her job really well, she requires her clients to share confidential, intimate business information with her. The kind of thing that requires a high level of trust. Okay, I thought I can do this. I'm ready. I can write Gail's bio. I know Gail. She's a high achiever. She's a professional woman. She's got great credentials. So what? There was nothing to connect me to Gail. I didn't know how to differentiate her from every other professional out there with great credentials who was high achieving. Why didn't I know anything about Gail? Why, when I looked her up online, did I find one really boring logo? Why, when I asked other people about Gail, did I just hear, nah, she's an operations coach? When I asked Gail these whys, she said to me, because it's no one else's business. She also said, I don't need to show who I am to prove I can do the job. And my favourite, I'm a really humble person. I don't need to talk about myself. What Gail believed was that if she told people who she was, it would diminish her professional credibility. She thought she'd be judged. And no one wants to be judged, right? She wanted to feel safe. But Gail had no believability. Nothing memorable about her at all. So, when I set out to find out who Gail was, and this wasn't a lovely conversation over afternoon tea, I dragged it out of her, kicking and screaming. But I heard this story about a woman who moved to Asia when she was very young, by herself, who decided after nearly 2 decades that, I want to live in South America. In fact, she bought a ranch there, sight unseen. She's living on an organic, self-sustaining farm. When she's not doing her coaching, she's raising 14 dogs. Wow, I thought, this is ordinary Gail's actually pretty fabulous. Not long after hearing this story of Gail, I found myself at my hairdresser's getting yet another hair colour, and I was telling him about this amazing woman that I know who lives on a farm in South America, who's growing her own organic vegetables, who rides around on a horse all day. And I realised Gail has become memorable. I want you to think of any bios that you have read, any biographies that you've been drawn to. Who do you remember and why? Can you remember any? Were you drawn to job titles? Were you drawn to academia? Were you drawn to someone who loves dogs? How did you make your decision about who that person is? Now, you don't need to share everything. I don't need to know how much credit card debt you have. I probably don't need to hear about your glasses obsession. In Gail's new bio, we've gone from Gail's been awarded in her career for leadership to Gail excels at the honest, intimate business analysis required for owners to set their own path. She cares about making strategy stick. In trusting other people with her story, Gail is giving people permission to trust her. And I'm talking about her ability to do her job well. Remember what she does for a living? She requires people to share intimate details with her, the kind of stuff that's embarrassing and uncomfortable. We've also added in what Gail values, what she cares about, the things that make her accessible and human. Gail now reaches a much wider audience. She's giving people permission to trust her. Gail has stopped hiding herself from others. So, here I am, back up on stage, still not a musician and no frilly dress. And I'm ordinary. My ordinary is a constant work in progress, and so is yours. So let's try this. I will be me, and you can be you. because there's only one fabulously ordinary you. Thank you.